Leos, you are becoming a new state of awareness when it comes to self-worth. You are learning to love yourself and invest in yourself first, which will then lead to the investments you want to make. Leos have become too often codependent on applause, likes, comments, attention in order to fuel their self worth. And many Leos became codependent, feeling that they needed the applause of the world to feel that they were worth anything. You are taking your power back, Leo and Leo risings. You're realizing that when you love yourself and you love yourself a bit more, you create a value in you that is infectious. And so you're going to realize that many of your investments into other people, into projects, maybe into other things like clubs, was not for the motive of participating. It was the motive of drawing in more attention to feel better about yourself. And so once you're in integrity with self-love and you are creating your own soul capital credit card inside of yourself, you no longer need to tax yourself or drain your resources investing in things that were really designed to prop you up and make you feel like the king or queen. So Leos are loving themselves and loving themselves some more when it comes to their self-worth, and this leads to new opportunities for money and materialization. Mars in Gemini is pushing Leos to get out there and manifest where you belong in the world, to strike your reputation, to become again the king or queen of the jungle. But when Mars squares Neptune, it says this must be reconciled as to make sure you don't fall into old karmic problems when it comes to trust, boundaries, trespassing, sexuality, sexual wounds, predatory behavior, accepting staying stuck because you're afraid of being uncomfortable. You must continue with whoever you become in the world to transform yourself in the background to boundaries that serve your highest and greatest self, not boundaries that degrade yourself or take away from yourself. And furthermore, not letting anyone into your personal, intimate space that isn't on the same high vibe as you. Now, the party in Libra has to do with your self-talk. A lot of your karma with yourself is that mental voice that responds to yourself. You are not always very fair to yourself. You tend to judge yourself before accepting yourself. And it's time now to reverse that pattern in your thinking. As Venus crosses over the South Node, Black Moon Lilith, and finally joins with Juno, you're going to develop a new voice or attitude in your inner self that is fair, balanced, accepting of your faults, but also accepting of your strengths, a nice balance of the pros and cons. And eventually you'll find a perfect voice that includes the neutral path in your tone. So I think for Leos, they're on the verge of really shining bright if they follow through with these steps.
It's serious joy, joy, joy.